Hey, what's up, you amazing hackers?
What up? What up, everybody? It's your boy R0n1n.
We are some hackers hanging out talking about our weeks. How are you doing, Sharonan?
I'm doing good. Kind of overworked myself a little bit. I was getting ready for like my OSCP exam, and then also like the videos that I wanted to go ahead and put out wound up being 2 weeks ahead because I did three machines instead of just my normal like one or two. And feeling good. The anxiety started to drop a little bit, and just I'm happy and excited. Didn't get to mess with anything that had sequel yet. I hate that. I treat that like it's an exorcism. I'm like, not today, Satan. you know?
Oh yeah, man, SQL injection is terrible. Like, you have to know the database structures, you have to know all of those different. Don't even talk about it, please. Yeah, like, what other rooms did you do? You said you did three, right?
Yeah, I finished Root Me, which was a video from today. I did Blaster and flipping crap. What was it? I think no, Hack Park. That one that one gave me a headache. I was like too much ping ponging where I had to go like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth where I had like to make multiple reverse shells and stuff, and it was just starting to really annoy me a little bit. But I was like, all right, this is how it's supposed to go, and it's on medium, so I'm starting to level up a little bit, going from the beginner rooms to the medium ones, and not be freaked out like I normally would be.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. Like, when I started Hack the Box, I was like, let's go, hard machines all the time. But I quickly got away
Oh,
from that, man. Like, you have to
yeah.
start somewhere, and the easier stuff is always better. Like, also when I look at the Portswigger Web Academy, don't know if you looked at that before, but they have some really cool challenges on there. I always start with like the apprentice level because I'm like, yeah, I know the basics, but then I get to it and I'm like, oh crap, what am I supposed to do now? So yeah, like, I get that. I try to start with some more basic stuff now as well. And OSCP is going on as well, right? Like, are you ready for
Yeah.
it? You said you feel a bit ready for it.
I,
Like, I remember when I went for it, I felt terrible. I was like, nope, that's not gonna go right.
Uh, I think I'm ready. I'm not like as I okay. I'll probably say it like this. Um, Last month I was probably in the mindset of the scene from I don't know if you've seen Ace Ventura where he was like crying in the shower. Last month I would say I was like that where I was just freaking out because I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna pass it, but 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 this month it started to, it started I started to find like my flow and my methodology that works for me. So I was like more comfortable and not furious if something doesn't go correctly. I'm now where I feel like all right, this don't work. Let me try this instead, type of a thing. So where I'm confident, where I think I'll do all right.
And five machines, are you ready for that? Because that's what I was most worried about. Like, five machines at a time. I was like, what?
I'm gonna. I tried to do two in one day, and I panicked a little bit. Got a little bit like hot in my chest with the anxiety and stuff. But I had to just take a step back and then just look at from as many angles as I could with some of them. So that kind of helped alleviate once I just backed off a little bit, took a quick breather, and then went over like my notes and stuff that because I do a mix of Cherry Tree and Microsoft OneNote. I made a Cherry Tree like methodology of what I found works for me, and that's what I put into like my videos every week and stuff. Is whatever I find that's new, that's interesting to me, then I add that onto my cheat sheets and stuff and just work from there. So yeah, it was a lot. I was able to breathe more comfortably the more I've been working through these machines and stuff. Once I found like, okay, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do that type of thing.
Yeah, that definitely helped for me as well. I also had my methodology in order. I had like a OneNote, and there I had like first of all, focus on HTTP. That's the biggest attack surface. Then go to Samba, I think it was, or FTP, and move on down my list from there. And that helped me a lot, of course. But when I was on the exam, I remember distinctly that I didn't encounter anything that was useful to me from my own checklist. So I had to go through the course again, and I was like, oh crap, this isn't happening. I put so much time into my checklist, but then I was like, I took a break. I worked for 2 hours. I didn't find anything. I took a break then, and I was like, okay, take a step back, calm down, chill a little bit. And then it all came to me like, okay, you're using your own methodology wrong, you dingus. So that's why I was totally not following my own rules, you know. When you're making your own methodology, you're setting up those rules for yourself. Like when you're testing HTTP, make sure that you look for vulnerable components, things that are on bugpog.com. No, bugpog.com. What's the name again of the website that hosts all of the...
Oh, the exploit DB.
Yeah, exploitdb, right? Sorry, totally lost that name.
That's
So
right.
I I I was looking at these version numbers, and I was thinking, oh no, this is not vulnerable to myself. But that was the totally wrong mentality. Like I was assuming stuff about my target that I shouldn't be assuming, and my my coworker, somebody who I always looked up to from my previous company, he always said, if you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. So stop assuming and actually see what that thing is doing, and actually go for it. And I think that helped me in bug bounties a lot as well. I never assume what my target is doing, and I think a lot of pen testers will have to have the same attitude, you know? We all have these prejudices about the things that we're attacking, like, oh, this web server will probably respond in this way. Yeah, probably, but what if it doesn't, you know? And that's the cool thing I
Right.
like about OSCP is it makes you think outside the box so much. Have you experienced that as well, that you had to think outside the box a little bit more than you're used to?
Yeah, and that was mainly from having to exploit DB did that because I would look up like all these different like software like versions and stuff like for like from hacking on the target where it'll have like one software version and then but there's like multiple links from there from an exploit DB and stuff, and I would have to go through each of them and then figure out like what works and then what doesn't, and then getting adjusted to like chaining where it's like, all right, this exploit works, but then I may have to use Metasploit multi-handler as opposed to Netcat or something. And then it was like it really was like, all right, where else can I go with this since this doesn't work? Or okay, this does work and I don't have right permissions on it. So how can I work past that? And it was really good. I think that like it really did get me into that process where like to not look at a target with only like one road, where kind of look at it like it's forked. There's more than one way to get to the destination.
That's really cool. Like, talking about Metasploit, did you prepare a lot to use it? Because when went into my OSCP exam, I was like, okay, I'm going to keep Metasploit for last. I don't want to learn this yet. I'm going to use it as on every lab machine I know myself. But I totally forgot to
Mm-hmm.
learn it, so I didn't use it on the exam. Did you prepare a little bit with Metasploit?
Yeah, I did, but I put more focus on not using it as opposed to using it. So I would, I would work more on like the hard part. I would know like what I would need in Metasploit, and I would keep that in like in my booty pocket, just like right here in the back, and then and I would go, okay, let me just do everything manually and see where I go from that. And then if that doesn't work, it was like fire extinguisher, like break open glass in case of emergency, use Metasploit and stuff. So that's kind of like where I just left it at.
Yeah, that's I I was thinking of doing the same, but obviously I totally forgot. So don't make the same mistake as me. If you plan on learning something, actually do it. Didn't matter anyway. I passed, so it doesn't matter that much. And Metasploit is not really a tool I look up to using very much. Of course, MSF console, MSF Venom is something you use a lot when generating reverse
Mm.
shells and that kind of stuff. But It's not like Metasploit itself. I don't find as useful, and often when you're exploiting your target, you'll come across maybe some Metasploit only module, and I'm like, oh god, I hate this. I want to write my own stuff for it. I want to write my own Python proof of concept, and I don't like it when only Metasploit stuff is available for that. So as opposed to like manual hacking, like you said, like chaining things together, that's so much cooler when you find that one cron job that's running as a root user, and you can use it to insert a file which gives you a reverse shell. That's some really cool stuff if you get to pull that off. It makes you feel like a proper
Yeah,
hacker.
yeah. I'm trying to get uh I'm trying to do that and be more organized with my tabs. So I'm not like switching back and forth with everything like all over the place. Like because I have my tabs like labeled, but then when I get into like my zone, I would have like more tabs, and I would just lose my track of just about everything, and it gets crazy.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. When I'm working, I always have 1,000 tabs open, and it's not good, very chaotic. And you're like, I don't want to close
Mm,
this one because I might need the information maybe 10 hours down the line, who knows. But yeah,
yes.
it's good to make a habit of keeping things clean, and especially in OSCP during your exam when you're partaking in it, you have the proctoring software open, you have your virtual machine running, and you have 1,000 tabs open. One advice: don't use Chrome. It'll suck up your memory like no other. And
Yeah.
I used Firefox during my exam. It uses a lot less memory, but don't use Chrome. Do yourself a huge favor if you use a lot of tabs. Um, that I When I think about the exam, when I think back to it, I always think back to the moment I started up that proctoring software, and I was like, okay, this person is watching me through a camera, and I'm not watching them. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they're looking for, and it was frightening and kind of messing me up in the beginning, But like after 10 minutes, that totally went away. That feeling, I didn't even know there was somebody in the room with me watching me do what I was doing. Of course, you have to, like, if you want to take a break, you have to warn them and give them like a little warning, hey, I'm taking a break. But that's it, you don't have to interact with them. Or if you have technical difficulties, they're not going to be able to do much. You're much better off sending off second email, but you might be able to do some simple stuff. So it was good to like do the exam and be able to fully focus on the machines I had in front of me. That was, for me, one of the hardest things was fighting my own feelings that day, fighting my own feelings of
Mm.
inadequacy coming across those machines and thinking, oh, I'm not finding anything after 2 hours. Why am I not finding anything? Am I not good enough? And that was like, in those 24 hours, you'll get to know every single feeling that you ever had. You'll get to know it again, and only 10 times worse. And that's like, I hope you can have a cool head during that time. I think it will be okay because I know you a little bit. You're a chill guy, um, but I'm a stressed up person. Like, especially if things are not working out the way I expect them to, I get very annoyed and very pissed off. And that's something you should always try to avoid during that exam. Getting pissed off is one of the worst things you can ever do. Just try to keep calm as much as possible, and everything will be all right.
Yeah, yeah, and that's where I'm at right now. I do like I am like prone to the anxiety and stuff like that, but yeah, it's just working on just like, meditation and just combing like my head and stuff like that, and I'll be all right. And then for like the proctoring, I wasn't aware that I don't even know if I say anything to them or if I just like load it up or what. But it should be no big deal. I mean, it's not like that. I'm an '80s baby. I was gonna make a '80s pop song reference to well, always feel like someone's watching me, but I'm like, yeah, I'll be like, I should be fine, and just let them know when I'm going to go on a rage break if ever I'm stuck on something.
Yeah, make sure to take those rage breaks, you know. Make sure to clear your head as well. Don't think about hacking. Make sure to let that subconscious mind work a little bit and things will be alright. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that by next month we'll have a video from you saying, I got my OSCP certificate. But even if you don't, like, you know,
Yeah, I'm hoping.
like for me, the learning experience was the most important part from OSCP. That's what I went into. I
Hmm.
wanted to get into hacking, and that's what I chose to get into the field. And I learned so much from it that even if I didn't pass, I was like, this made me a much stronger person in and of itself. Just going through this course, going through setting myself that strict regime of always exercising, always doing my coursework, and that stuff. I wasn't that kind of person before I did OSCP. Before I did OSCP, I just free winged it because I never had any problems with any of the exams that I took. I just was like, oh yeah,
Hmm.
I'll see what happens. I'll read my course once. But OSCP, you really have to study for it. It's not happening in and of itself. And that's a message I want to give everybody as well. If you are willing to put in the work, it's not impossible. It's not impossible at all.
Hmm.
I mean, look at a freaking rat who got their OSCP exam. If a rat can do it, everybody can.
Yeah, and I was born and raised in like the bad parts of Chicago, and then like moved out to where I'm at like right now, over in like Colorado and stuff. So yeah, it's like, and I've been a big techie since I was a kid. So yeah, it's possible. I definitely believe that anything is possible. Like at this point and stuff. But yeah, like even like either way, it's still like the exam is like an amazing experience and stuff, and something I'm not gonna like quit until I get it. That's where my mindset is like with that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what my mindset was as well. I can always retake the exam. It's not that expensive. Let's just go.
Hmm.
All right, man. I'm sorry I have to go so soon, but I have to get gas for my wife's car. I
Oh,
thank you
sorry. That
so
was
much
cool.
for your time, my friend. Do you have any more
Thanks for having
tips
me.
for anybody like who want to take their OSCP? Do you have any last tips for them?
Definitely have a good methodology and a cheat sheet of the commands that work best for the output that you want to see. Definitely get adjusted to privilege escalation. The Tiberius and Cyber Mentor have like great lessons like on that, and that's where I picked up a lot of like my tips and built off of that. Yeah, those are like the main ones that I've noticed myself that have been like most beneficial.
For me, I would say watch my videos, watch Chironan's videos, of course. That's going to be a lot of help. I'm sure that you'll make a lot of videos about that OSCP stuff like you've been doing, and it's really cool that you've been doing that. So thanks for that, everybody. If you want to learn more, go check out his channel. He has some really cool stuff on there. Thank you so much for
Definitely
being
check
here.
out.
Sorry, sir.
Thank you. You're master at it. Thank you for like the opportunity to be able like to work under you and stuff like that, and for all of like your subscribers too. Like this is pretty much the master right now who got me motivated to even do this stuff in the first place. So I mean, kudos 100% goes to you because you were pretty much the inspiration to me to have me want to do this and everything. Get out of the box and be able to do like these cool like tutorials and be able to chat with someone like as awesome as yourself.
Thanks a lot, man. Massive respect, and I'm glad that somebody was. I hope that I can inspire more people to teach others. That's what I've been like. The fact that you've been doing that is admirable. Sacrificing your own time to teach others. And guys, don't think that we get a lot of money from YouTube for doing this. This is our free time. This is
Yeah.
nothing. So,
Mm,
thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a great time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.